It is the longest running series on the channel, inaugurated in 2014 and about to enter its 9th full-time season. It is the Haas IndyCar Series, and tonight, on this Tuesday night, the Auto Club Speedway in Fontana, California, we open up the 2023 campaign with these 26 drivers about to do 50 laps around this 2-mile high-speed oval. This is the California 100 in the Haas IndyCar Series 2023, the Auto Club Speedway. Hello everybody, this is AG here, and welcome to the opening race of the season in the 2023 Haas IndyCar Series. This is the California 100, 50 laps of action around this 2-mile speedway in Fontana, California. And what I would argue to be the second biggest race of the season, only behind the Indianapolis 250. We had single car qualifying last night. We got to know all the drivers. Now we'll really get to know all these drivers as they get to do battle once again here in the Haas IndyCar Series. I'm joined alongside Andrew Miller for the call of tonight's event. And Andrew, this series has been around for a very long time. The first official series began in 2015, even though we did do a season of this in 2014 as well. But so much history has built up in this series. We have drivers who are in their 6th and 7th full-time seasons here, but we also got some rookies. How do you think this race will play out with that mixture of veterans and rookies around this high-speed 2-mile oval?
Oh boy, that honestly, that's a good question, because when you come into a track like this, in many ways, it acts like its own super speedway, and that it's a wild card. Anyone can pull it off. Yep, like you said, you got the veterans that are going to be able to maybe know where to put the car a little better, but then you got the rookies who've really got nothing to lose. Try and make it happen, and try to get a good result and start the season right. So I think a lot of passing is going to be happening among many different drivers. I wouldn't be surprised to see a number of drivers at least lead a lap or another at some point. I think it's going to be a good show.
We'll have to see how it all ends up shaking out. Of course, if you saw last year's California 100, we had a very interesting race, and it is the same package, the same type of racetrack this year as well. It's a very narrow groove here, the Auto Club Speedway, and if you get out of the groove, these guys have to check up about 20 miles per hour through these corners. We saw it last night in qualifying. You had to have that perfect groove in order to get the best lap, and if you're not in that perfect groove, you're going to go way back, and that makes for a very interesting style of racing here. But it's going to be a lot of fun. We're also going to have a cycle of pit stops in this race as well, about a 26 to 28 lap fuel run for these drivers. So if this race stays green, it'll be just past halfway, kind of like what we saw or what we were going to see in the Daytona 500 before what ended up happening in that race. But regardless of the fact, this race should be a lot of fun, and any of these 26 drivers can go to victory lane here tonight, including our 5 rookies. We actually have a relatively small rookie class here for the Haas IndyCar Series, and I said 5 rookies. I'm actually completely wrong about that, but we have ourselves, if I can do the math correctly here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 rookies instead of 5. We did single car qualifying yesterday, and we had 5 of those rookies who have never won a race before on the channel, but only 1 true rookie in the field. But some of those rookies include Brad Stover, who has been around forever on the channel. This is his first IndyCar race here today. And then also other drivers like Aaron Abel and Tanner Parton, who have a full season under the belt. And John Stewart coming back behind the wheel. He's starting on the outside pole. He won a couple of races in the Cup Series a few years ago. So it's a very interesting field that we have here. But we also have the veteran Zachary Fitzwater, who won this race last year. Nicholas Samudio, the 2-time Indianapolis 250 champion. And of course, last year's Indianapolis 250 champion of Trey Smith, just to name a few. Of course, we'll probably mention all 26 drivers at some point here tonight, but it's definitely going to be a fun race to see who gets it done. If you saw qualifying yesterday, you saw that Angel Oliveira won the pole for Trackhouse Racing and Reggie Fogelman, and he will lead us to the green flag here for tonight's California 100 alongside John Stewart there in the number 25. Row number 2 sees Chris Reynolds in the 75 machine alongside Eric Drew in the 52. I think you and I called the race that Eric Drew won last year at Martinsville Speedway. See if he pulls off something here tonight. That's Zachary Fitzwater alongside Nicholas Amadio. How about that row right there? Two of the all-time winningest drivers on the channel starting alongside each other in row number 3. Then you have the number 27 of Ace Garcia starting to the inside of Noah Clifton in the number 94. Then you got Roy Ribbleton, Ace Garcia's teammate, to the inside of the 23 machine of Justin Zeidel. Still going for his second career win in the series 5 years after he won his first one. All 26 drivers are rolling off here at the Auto Club Speedway here tonight. And Andrew, it's a strong field. Who do you think is going to get the race victory in the California 100?
I mean, when you were running down that top 10, that was a lot of big names that you were mentioning there. So I'm going to have my bet on those two there in row 3. Fitzwater and Sam Adio. Two of the winningest drivers on your channel, if I'm not mistaken. So I think one of them guys is going to be able to get it done. But so far, I'm not too good at calling winners.
Well, we'll have to see. Fitzwater won this race last year, and he won a lot of high-speed ovals last year as well. So I'd watch out for him in that number 81. Pace cars down the pit lane. The 2023 Haas IndyCar Series is underway. Is it May yet? Not yet, but we're going to have a lot of fun here tonight. Green flag in the air in the California 100. And you saw right there on that wide angle shot off the exit at turn 4. These guys kind of sliding up there on that outside lane, but Angel Olvera, he grabbed the bonus point for winning the pole, and he's going to have another bonus point for leading that lap, and you get another bonus point if you lead the most laps. It's not 3 bonus points for leading the most laps anymore. It's just the 2. 1 for leading a lap and another for leading the most laps. Chris Reynolds there up to second, and Fitzwater out of the groove there in the 81 as here comes Roy Ribbleton right to the inside of his teammate, and look at that closing right there. Get stuck in that outside lane, get up into the marbles, and there's just no grip at all, and Ace Garcia lost a lot of ground.
Looks like it's going to be behaving a lot like real-life Indy. Where if you get out of the groove, you're going to be in a world of pain where there's just no grip, no rubber adhesed to the track. That was a sentence. But you're just going to be sliding all over the place. So these guys just going to try to hang on to it, see what they can do, and at least try to finish this thing out. It's the first race of the season, so yeah, don't be too urgent as far as trying to get up there.
Absolutely, and Zachary Fitzwater, if I'm not mistaken, I believe started 25th last year in this race and went on to go to victory lane. So it's a long race. It's 100 miles here at the Auto Club Speedway, so a lot can happen between now and the finish of the event. How about Cole Raymond, the only driver returning to his team, as we got Tanner Parton, his teammate, getting really squirrely there off the exit of turn 2 with Jay Knapp and Chris Reynolds. They keep it together back in there. But he's going to take the race away. Cole Raymond, that is, who won the last race of the season last year at the Pocono Raceway, and now he's going to get a bonus point towards the championship for leading lap number 4. Eric Drew in second. And how about Trey Smith, who was runner-up in the championship last year, won the Indianapolis 250. Here he is, top 3 right now. How about John Andrews here in the 21, and Jay Knapp, who I believe finished runner-up in this race 1 year ago. The great top 5, and Sam Adio up to the 6th position, and Olvera, who led the first 3 laps, all the way down to 7th as he got stuck in that outside lane. And look at that right there. Fitzwater with a lot of grip on that inside lane as Olvera did not have the right groove, and he's slipping back.
Golly, I'm just hearing you call out all these names. Jay Knapp, Fitzwater, Olvera, all familiar names on the channel, and right now they're showing their experience there as we almost had contact going into turn 1 there. But man, it's looking like the star power is going to be what's dominating this thing, at least in the early going. Like you said, ways to go yet.
It definitely seems like the veterans have a little bit of experience on the rookies, but Eric Drew's a rookie, and he just took the race away from Cole Raymond. It got Coleman Raymond really loose there up on the outside lane, but look at who's second. Nicholas Samadeo in the number 5. He got a win last year at the Portland International Raceway. He's, of course, a 2-time Indianapolis 250 champion. And I mentioned the Indianapolis 250 a lot. If you're good at Indy, you're probably going to be good here, as Caleb Rose slipped there in the 3 machine. Or no, that's the 97 of Aaron Abel, excuse me. They have very similar looking race cars. Almost got him to Trey Smith right there. There's Landon Smith Jr. moving to the inside of him. These guys are literally all over the place right now, and if they're not careful, they could get into each other and cause a wreck. Noah Clifton really getting loose there through the middle of the corner. Of all the high-speed ovals we go to, this track has the least amount of grip. But Mr. Edge, this is the kind of track you want to live on the edge. You know, it's a really narrow groove. That fits Mr. Edge very well. Nicholas Samadeo has led a lap here in the California 100 with John Andrews, Cole Raymond, Eric Drew, and Tanner Parton in the top 5.
I was surprised with Samadeo being up there. I was going to mention, though, just how much of a power move that was from Samadeo, getting all the way down to the white line to take the lead away. So far, at least with these somewhat fresh tires, it seems like whenever you're out in the lead, you can't really hold it the longest. All it takes is someone managing to get the car a little bit lower than you to find that little bit extra grip, that shorter way around, and they're going to make pretty much mincemeat out of the leader.
Going to be interesting to see if Samadeo can hold on to it here for a while. And as these tires wear out, it might be a little bit easier to hold on to the race lead. You got Tanner Parton way up on the outside lane, but I think as the tires wear out, the outside lane may be a little bit better. Let's have to see how that all goes down. Here comes Jay Knapp in the 98. Making the move over to NS Racing this year. He drove for Dog Pound Incorporated and finished dead last in the championship standings. He's a little wide there, though, and almost got in the Tanner Parton. And this is just such a hard track to maneuver around. That makes this race so fascinating, because if you make one little mistake, you lose 10 positions. Here's the 00. That's Fitzwater's teammate, Luna Lono. She's made a couple of starts in the Sprint Series so far this year. And here she is, her first ever full-time run in the Haas IndyCar Series, or any series for that matter on the channel. Running top 5 right now. She got around the number... Who she got around? Jay Knapp there in the 98, who is starting to fall back in that machine as he really got loose on that outside. Nicholas Samadeo continuing to lead this field ahead of John Andrews, Cole Raymond. Of course, these are 3 very strong drivers, I feel like, especially behind the wheel of an IndyCar. And John Andrews, he's going to be attempting his 6th Indianapolis 250 this year. He's been around a long time. Been around since the beginning, practically. But Cole Raymond was a very strong rookie last year. And it's no surprise to see these 3 lead the field here at the Auto Club Speedway.
Got a bit of a gap that they've been able to maintain thus far. Just a little side note here on that 00. I mean, how must that be? Being first ever start on the channel, first ever season on the channel, and your teammate is frickin' Zachary Fitzwater.
You got the best.
Holy cow.
And it's not like Fitzwater isn't good behind the wheel of an IndyCar. He won this race last year and finished top 5 in the championship as well. So Fitzwater absolutely knows what he's doing no matter what he's driving here in any NR series. If you have an NR offline series and you don't have Fitzwater, you don't have an NR offline series. That's just all there is to it. How about John Stewart? I want to talk about John Stewart. He ran in the Chick-fil-A Cup Series all the way back season 7, which would have been 2018, 5 years ago. He won at Las Vegas that season and also another race as well. And at the time, I didn't know who John Stewart was or who his owner was in that case. It was Josh Williamson's driver. And of course, Josh, a longtime commentator, a longtime friend of the channel. But he brought back his driver, John Stewart. And John Stewart going to be full-time for Wisconsin Speedworks. And this team won the championship last year with Brian Rodriguez in the number 13. That number 13 machine is now driven by Avery Alford, which is unfortunately not having the best of nights. He is currently dead last. He was slowest in qualifying yesterday. Not really figuring much out right now in his first ever IndyCar start, but we'll just have to see how they do without their championship driver returning to the series here in 2023. Samadeo, though, still leading this field. He's led the most laps so far as we're on lap 15 of 50 here in the California 100.
Probably about 10 laps away or so from those pit stops that you were mentioning. Everyone pretty much single file right now. I think, as you alluded to, tires starting to wear down, and these things behaving a little more like the real-life stock cars as far as how they have to drive these corners. Of course, just with the exception of the outside lane being absolutely brutal. And it's really something to see on it. It's going to showcase just the ability of who can try to manage the low grip the best. And maybe that'll be a little indication of who might do a little better on some of the lower grip road courses.
We're just going to have to see how this race ends up playing out. You can see how far they've spread out now. We've been single file for quite a while, but that does not mean the racing has been bad at all. I mean, it's been a lot of intense racing up front as Luna Luna goes wide, and here comes Trey Smith in the 79, and his brother, Landon Smith Jr., helping each other out right there, and Caleb Rose got it right this time, getting passed there by Christian Vargas in the 73. Vargas has won before in the Haas IndyCar Series, so he knows how to get it done here in the series. Of course, we'll see the Cup Series here on Friday night. The Sprint Series is here tomorrow night, so we'll see the stock cars on this 2-mile racetrack, and they race completely differently than these guys do, so excited to see how those two races end up shaping out for Sprint Series tomorrow night. And if you want to be part of a race in the Sprint Series, sign-ups will be for Las Vegas tomorrow night as well. I always got to plug that because I know you guys love these races and always want to be part of the action. Hey, how about Christian Master? He's back being part of the action. The most experienced driver in the Haas IndyCar Series, by the way, and the 2015 Indianapolis 250 champion won the season race that year. We did have 2 Indianapolis 200s that year. Max North won the special event. Christian Master won the season race in the 2015 Haas IndyCar Series. His 7th full-time Haas IndyCar Series season. That's one more than Nicholas Samadillo, as John Andrews getting passed by Tanner Parton. How about Nathan Orman Motorsports? They're second and third right now with Cole Raymond and Tanner Parton trailing right behind Nicholas Samadillo.
But still, though, it's all Samadillo just trying to just punch in the air right now. Probably will have to pit a little sooner than everyone else. But so far, I'm wanting to say that if you end up pitting sooner, you may end up with the advantage because then you'll be on the fresher rubber, and chances are you'll get the undercut that way. I'm sure some drafts will come into effect as far as that goes, so you don't want to pit alone, but I think tires are going to be the more preferred way to go about it.
Absolutely, and you can definitely tell these guys are struggling out there, especially if they're not on the right line. But I got to hand it to Nicholas Samadillo, and of course, one of the most experienced drivers we have in the field, has been able to hold on to the race lead for about 12, 13 laps at this point. However, just as I say that, Cole Raymond moving to the inside for the race lead, and he's going to make that one look easy.
Oh, look at this. Pretty much aerodynamically shoved Samadillo out of the way, and just like that, Samadillo is going to barely hang on to the third position, trying to defend it there from Luna Luna, but going to be side by side, and chances are probably going to lose another spot or two unless he's able to magically make that high line work. Which,
and you know, I said that the outside lane isn't that good, but there is a half a groove on that outside, and sometimes these guys hit that magic groove on that outside lane. Such a fascinating racetrack here in these IndyCars. Landon Smith Jr. up there to the 4th position. His brother Trey Smith hanging on very well. Christian Master and Eric Drew helping each other out on that inside lane, getting around last year's Indy 250 champion. And how about Cole Raymond? How about Nathan Orman Motorsports? They're 1-2 right now with Cole Raymond and Tanner Parton. And they're doing an excellent job holding on. They've been up front pretty much this entire race. They finally got that race lead as these guys go really wide off the corner. And at any moment, we could have a wreck in this race. And hopefully it does not happen during the green flag cycle of pit stops. But the way these guys race, the way they slide up, could end up with one driver making a mistake and could end up with a caution if we're not careful. John Andrews on the inside there, Roy Ribbleton, Christian Vargas in the middle of all this as well as Trey Smith falls back with Caleb Rose. And you got some guys who are kind of significantly off the pace at this point, who have just not been able to find any grip here tonight. Avery Alford still in the last position. Chris Reynolds, who was up front earlier on, I think he may have led a lap. I can't remember. Don't think he led a lap in this race, but he's fallen back. Justin Zeidel's fallen back as well. Logan Williams with a struggle here tonight. Bradley Bradshaw in the 34. Brad Stover in his first ever IndyCar start. Fitzwater struggling. He won this race last year, and he's in the back of the field. Of course, this series does not have ratings. It's all equal ratings, but it's a 25-point range for each aspect. So there's a lot of range from how these guys run in each race.
Golly, I'm keeping my eye, though, on Samadillo. The fact that he just went from as far back as he was and has already has already reeled back in the leader of that was Reynolds or
Cole Raymond there.
Cole Raymond. Excuse me. Oh my gosh.
Not Chris Reynolds. I almost made that mistake in qualifying yesterday too, so don't worry.
Good thing I've got my notes here.
Hey, we're on lap 25 of 50. Somebody went around. Roy Ribbleton in the 33. I don't know if the caution came out, though, and I don't think it did. He was at the back of the field, and we saw this last year as well. When Caleb Rose had a moment going into the pit lane, he spun around, and he was sideways on the racetrack, but no one was coming by, and they did not throw out the yellow, so the same situation there. You will see what happened to him. The corner of your screen, given that I remember to replay that, let me make a note of that right now before I forget, because I will forget. Halfway here in the California 100, and there's the caution and the wreck.
Oh.
Fitzwater and Eric Drew. And it looks like Vargas in the back there, also getting caught up. No, that's Christian Master. And he is going to be done in the 55. Right at halfway. Fitzwater will not go back-to-back in this California 100. And Eric Drew, Christian Master, neither of them will go to victory lane either. Wow.
Well, honestly, I bet you that there are some of these guys that are probably really happy that that happened, especially maybe just outside the top 10 because they were starting to maybe lose touch with the leaders. I doubt they were going to be able to reel it back in after those green flag pit stops. So I think that they're thinking, okay, I think we may have a new ball game here.
We absolutely do, because we're right past halfway. This is the pit stop here for this California 100, and a great opportunity for these drivers to make an adjustment. Cole Raymond comes down the race leader. Now, the one thing about this game, IndyCar is really great in this game, and hey, IndyCar is leaving iRacing, so best IndyCar game is NR2003 now. The one thing I don't like, they do one side at a time. They can do two tires. It's not realistic, I know. This is a NASCAR simulator, but it is a 4-tire stop for all these guys regardless. You will see 2-tire stops throughout the season. That's another thing about this that isn't quite realistic, but I think we're going to see a 4-tire for all of these guys, considering just how little grip there is on the racetrack. And Cole Raymond, his pit crew, doing an excellent job, getting him right back after the race lead, and Sam Badia will follow suit. Landon Smith Jr., I believe, is going to get third, with Tanner Parton in fourth. And how about Jay Knapp? Great jump for the 98, up to the 5th position. Look at Logan Williams there in the 38. And just as you were saying, Andrew, there's some guys in the back who completely lost touch of the race leaders. Well, Logan Williams moved up to 6th. Justin Zeidel, another one of those guys, up to 7th. And John Andrews, Christian Vargas. And how about Thomas Troxel? First time mentioning Troxel all night there for Roberto Crown Jr.'s team, Crown Ultra Racing. He's in the 10th position right now here at the Auto Club Speedway. Well, we had a big wreck. Knocked out last year's winner here in the California 100. Zachary Fitzwater, Eric Drew, Christian Master getting caught up in an accident in turn number 4. Let's see what happened to bring out the caution here in the California 100. Well, just as I was saying, a wreck can happen at any moment, and these guys sliding up becomes an issue. Eric Drew and Christian Master, wrong place, wrong time. And you saw the corner of your screen when Caleb Rose and Roy Ribbleton got into each other. They went airborne. When you wreck at these speeds, it isn't pretty. And Eric Drew in the catch fence there. And hey, this is a video game. And the one thing, my biggest pet peeve with other NR leagues is realistic injuries and sometimes even deaths. That's stupid, all right? I'm sorry. I'm going to say it. It's stupid. This is still a video game. And, no one's getting hurt here. Eric Drew will race next weekend at Riverside. But, Fitzwater just arc braked right into him. But, it's just the way it goes sometimes here at the Auto Club Speedway. A little bit too fast, and they just slide into the corner with no grip on this racetrack. And that's what ends up happening there with the 52 and the 81 to Fitzwater. And, of course, Christian Master nowhere to go as well. I think someone may have skirted him there. I'm not entirely sure. It may have been Caleb Rose who... Man, this race does not favor Caleb Rose at all. If you remember last year, he spun trying to come down the pit lane and then missed the pit lane, and they never threw a caution out for it. So, they threw a caution out for this one. And it'll reset the field, and we'll get to the replay, get to the restart here in a moment. But first, let's review this in real time.
Wow, this is quite a way to start the season here. What a crash. Look at this. Pretty much going the entire straightaway, or the entire corner. Oh my gosh. Pretty much in the catch fence, and then Fitzwater's going to be angry about that one. But, man, that is not a good time to be had, and yeah, there's where the spin happened, but golly, that was insane.
Do an onboard for this one. I think that one deserves it. We did an onboard for the Daytona 500. Do an onboard for this one, and we'll get to the restart here at Auto Club. Onboard, Eric Drew in the 52. How do you do?
Dizzy. That's how you do.
And that'll end Eric Drew's night, and that'll end Fitzwater's night as he ran right into him. Tough break for all those guys involved, but only 3 drivers going to fail to finish after this one. So have 23 drivers on the racetrack, and technically on the lead lap. Let's get to the restart here in the California 100 with Cole Raymond leading the field at the Auto Club Speedway. We're back here at the Auto Club Speedway, Fontana, California, here on this Tuesday night IndyCar racing. A lot of the races will be a Monday or Tuesday this year. Kind of not compete with the Cup Series as that goes on over the weekends. But I wanted to give you guys something during the middle of the week when, you know, not as much is going on, you know. So Tuesday night, California 100. And it's been a great one so far. Some excellent racing going on here at the Auto Club Speedway. Cole Raymond is your race leader. Now, Roy Ribbleton got spun off there, and you saw the accident in the corner of your screen. He's going to be on the tail end of the lead lap. He could get in the way of our race leaders, but Cole Raymond, Nicholas Sambadio, Landon Smith Jr., Tanner Parton, Jay Knapp have some other ideas. Andrew was kind of suggesting that Logan Williams and Justin Zeidel may have taken only 2 tires on their stop, so we'll have to see. That is not a good strategy at all on a track like this, but hey, we still got 21 laps to go. Anything is possible. Let's see what happens as we're back to green here in the California 100. Raymond looking to make light work of Roy Ribbleton, and he will, and Sam Medeo going to try to do the same, and I think he'll get the advantage there. I think that 33 is going to be a bit off the pace compared to some of these other guys, considering the damage that he has to his race car. And well, Zeidel and Williams are hanging on for now.
I don't know if they were actually starting to move up and we just didn't see them, and they just had a great stop or what. But yeah, from what you were saying, there was no way that with 2 tires they would be able to hold that kind of speed. So I guess all the speed came from the pit crew.
It may have. Of course, we don't want to risk crashing the game and going back to C, so we apologize for our very poor pit road coverage. But hey, that's how it's always been here. Can't be perfect. How about Landon Smith Jr. here? And now Landon Smith Jr. is a veteran here to this series, and he's got 2 wins on the channel, but he's never won before in the Haas IndyCar Series. A great opportunity for him. And I gotta tell you, Dracoan Racing Enterprises, they've been lights out over there in the Cup Series so far this year. Maybe they'll keep that streak going here in the IndyCar Series here tonight with that 0-7 of Landon Smith Jr. But these guys are kind of all staying in their respective positions. How about Zeidel on Jay Knapp? That's for 5th. Yeah, I think these guys probably took 4 tires. Great pit stop for both Zeidel and Williams, and they're going to put Knapp on that outside lane. Yeah,
they definitely got fresh rubber on there. And knowing Zeidel, another experienced name up there. It has been just a class with these experienced drivers. I think the low grip probably playing into their strength. They're familiar with it. They know what to do with it. So they're making it happen.
By the way, I forgot to mention, and you're seeing it on the scrolling ticker right now, out of the race include Christian Master, Eric Drew, and Zachary Fitzwater. Zachary Fitzwater won this race last year. He's going to finish dead last here tonight. Not at all how Fitzwater wanted this race to go. But I'm intrigued by what we're seeing here, because we're not seeing these guys scatter as we did during that first green flag run. They have all generally remained in their respective positions, except for Jay Knapp, who kind of fell into his respective position there. Fell back a little bit there as Andrews, Williams, and Zeidel all got around him. San Mateo, he's coming close here on Cole Raymond. Now, Cole Raymond won the finale last year at Pocono. That was a 50-lapper there on that 2.5-mile triangular-shaped racetrack. And I think that was a good sign of what was to come for this driver. He was third in the championship standings last year as well. Also got a win at the Indy Road Course. And it would be no surprise to see Cole Raymond get it done here tonight. But I tell you, Mr. Edge, if you give him an opportunity, he's going to take it, and he's going to be a hard one to beat here. But got to give a shout out to Tanner Parton here. First ever IndyCar start for Tanner. Of course, teammate there to Cole Raymond at Nathan Orman Motorsports. He's looking for his first ever win on the channel here tonight, and he's in a position to possibly get it done here at the Auto Club Speedway.
But he's going to have a tall task here, I think, of getting past those front two. I mean, all credit to the 07 for sticking with them, but I swear this 95 and 5, especially the 5, they've just been the class of the field. San Mateo looking good. He's been able to get lower than the 95 thus far, but just hasn't been able to make that move. So I don't know if he's just kind of toying with him right now or just trying to save his stuff. But credit to these guys for sticking with him. But I think it's going to be tough to take away either of these top two spots.
It definitely will. I mean, these guys are gridlocked right now. This is entirely different than what we saw at the start of this race, and what those fresh tires can do when they start in that single file line. Hey, I'm all for single file restarts. I'm a single file restart man, and it's all nice and fair because everyone kind of just starts in a line. You know, you don't get stuck on the outside lane, and that's the beauty of this game, especially with IndyCar, because in real life that is still how they do it in IndyCar. So one of the things IndyCar has over NASCAR, in my opinion. But Nicholas San Mateo here in the 5, trying to have that advantage on Cole Raymond. Driving for Grattan Autosport this season. And Grattan Autosport, I cannot for the life of me remember if they actually went to victory lane last year. But they might go to victory lane tonight because San Mateo finally made the move on Raymond for the race lead. He's got to be careful not to let Landon Smith Jr. get to the inside, and he's going to shut the door on the 07. And now Raymond's going to lose 4 positions just like that. And maybe even more.
Man, I don't know if that was a mistake or car mishandling, but man, he did not have a good 1 and 2 there. Something happened that sent him up the track, and now he's paying for it. He's going to have a hard time holding on to top 10, but look at how it's stacked up, all these guys.
Yeah, I think the tires are starting to give away a little bit right here. Trey Smith on Luna Lona and Logan Williams. John Stewart there as well. Starting to get a little edgy back in there. That single file racing is gone, at least in the back half of the field, but they've single filed out up front. And San Mateo now leading this field here with 11 laps to go in the California 100. Landon Smith Jr. in second, Tanner Parton. How about Justin Zaidel? It's been almost 5 years for Justin Zaidel. Nicholas San Mateo has won 2 Indianapolis 250s since this guy last won a race. And oh, by the way, Zaidel's been in nearly every single Haas IndyCar Series race since that win in early 2018. He did fail to qualify for the Indy 250, I think, in 2021, or it may have been last year. I cannot remember. You know, Andrew, I know you were talking about how amazed you were that I remembered all these random facts like that one right there, but there's some of them that I just can't remember, and I know he failed to qualify 1 year, but regardless of the fact, the 2019 champion trying to get his second win in the Haas IndyCar Series 5 years ago when he got it. Will he get it here tonight? He's in a position to possibly get it done, but these guys, like I said, they're just kind of gridlocked. San Mateo was able to make the move there on Cole Raymond as Andrews. He lost it way up on the outside, and he's going to lose at least 6 positions.
He almost got in the wall there as we were within 10 laps to go. Here we're going to go a little 3-wide action. But yeah, these guys are going to be trying to keep it clean. Ooh, boy, that may be a tall task.
Able to get that out, something to work a little bit, but Vargas able to get around him. And there's his teammate Thomas Troxel also getting around him as well. Here comes Idell for third on Tanner Parton. And now, you know, we were singing the praises of Nathan Orman Motorsports, but look at Grattan Autosport now. They're first and third right now here, with Landon Smith Jr. right in the middle for Dracoan Racing Enterprises. How about these teams here? They are really looking strong, and they're starting to get a bit of a gap now. Jay Knapp and Tanner Parton. Tanner Parton, he found that magic line on that outside lane. Able to get around the 98, who slipped up, and now Cole Raymond and John Stewart getting around the 98. That was a very weird sequence right there. That's the beauty of this racetrack and these Indy cars. Luna Lona here trying to make a move on John Stewart. How about John Stewart back up inside the top 10? And now it's just a shuffle all throughout the positions beyond the podium positions here, the Auto Club Speedway. And any of these guys can still pull this off, but Sam Menino trying to pull away here from Landon Smith Jr. Oh, and I think the tires are giving away. There's a point where the tires give away, and it's noticeably slower, and you think a caution has come out. And we are still green flag racing here in the California 100, but we're coming close to the point of no return here in this race. And this race ended under caution last year. We'll see if that happens again here tonight.
I mean, so someone who wouldn't mind that, Sam Menino. He's been checking out here a little bit. Great run there for the 07, though. Might be able to try to reel him in a little bit. And, of course, yeah, you were saying Stuart Grattan Motorsport, first and third at the moment. I think Mobile 1 Grattan Autosport, excuse me. But, yeah, they're looking strong. And, obviously, Stuart Grattan, a long-time veteran of NR, all fine stuff. So
there goes Zidell for second. And Zidell's been pulling these guys off one by one. And now it's him and his teammate. And I talked in qualifying yesterday. This is the team to watch out for. 2 IndyCar Series champions. As a matter of fact, the only 2 Haas IndyCar Series champions in this field full-time this year. And they're driving for Stuart Grattan. And Grattan obviously knows how to be an owner. And, yeah, these guys, they're showing what I was talking about last night. They're 1-2 right now. And there's no ratings in this series, by the way. It just happens to work out like this. But I don't know. It's going to be hard to get Sam Menino here tonight. That number 5 has been on a rail all night long. But Zidell looks like he might have a shot here. A great adjustment on the pit stop. And he might have a shot in his teammate for the California 100 race victory.
And how about 4th and 5th there? Cole Raymond, after falling out of contention there, back up to 4th. Great run there. And Luna Lona out of nowhere into the top 5, just ahead of the 21.
Look at this!
So, credit to them.
Justin Zidell to the inside with 4 laps to go. Sam Menino's going to get stuck in the outside lane. Here comes Landon Smith Jr., Cole Raymond. They're going to have a shot at getting around this 5. And Justin Zidell trying to get his 2nd win in the Haas IndyCar Series and his 1st in this series in nearly 5 years. He's got 3 laps to the checkered flag in the California 100. Oh, but Sam Menino finding that magic line there on Landon Smith Jr. And, folks, this one is not done yet.
Almost 3 wide there, but oh my gosh, look at this run here for the 95. Actually might be able to get back up into contention, but he's going to have to run him down and run him down hard. He's only got 2 laps to do it.
Yeah, and he may not have enough time. It takes a while to work that run on the driver ahead of you. And we're just going to have to see Sam Menino falling back to the 6th position right there. 2 laps to go in the California 100. How about Crown Ultra Racing? John Andrews, Thomas Troxel, both top 5 right now. Cole Raymond there in 2nd. And Raymond is coming. Luna Lona is 3rd. And that 95 really closed in quite a bit there. Oh, but Luna Lona going for 2nd there. That is exactly what Zidell wants to see. Keep those guys going side by side. But Lona's got a shot here in the 00. 4 Dog Pound Incorporated. Here we go. White flag in the air in the California 100 for Justin Zidell and Grattan Autosport. Will he get it done here tonight?
Lona's going to have an incredible run. We got a veteran versus a rookie here for this race win.
Look at this. Raymond and Troxel got a little edgy right there. Oh, Luna Lona is right there on the gearbox of Justin Zidell. But will she have a shot in the turn number 3? Zidell's got the line that he needs. And I think it's finally gonna happen! Justin Zidell, after 5 years, will finally go back to victory lane in the Haas IndyCar Series! How about that?
My former owner, baby!
That is a well-earned victory, and one that was 5 years in the making for the 2019 Haas IndyCar Series champion. What a way to start the season off here in the Haas IndyCar Series 2023.
I did not think anyone was getting by that 5. And after all that, he's not even in the top 10.
Finished 11th. That's what this racetrack will do to you.
And Zidell, weren't we saying about him, like, we didn't think that he was on 4 fresh tires? He was toward the back,
He
and all
obviously
of a sudden,
was.
boom!
He obviously was.
Absolutely.
There's no way he didn't take 4 tires on that last stop. That's all there is to it. What a race! Hey, you got to give credit to Luna Lona. I mean, Zidell was not letting that race get away from him. She did everything right at the end. John Andrews, Thomas Troxel, Crown Ultra Racing, 3rd and 4th. It was scrambling like crazy at the end behind Zidell. And that whole top 10 is completely different than what it was, like 3 laps before the race ended. Landon Smith Jr. with the top 5, then Vargas in 6th. Noah Clifton, where did he come from? He's 7th. Tanner Parton, Cole Raymond, John Stewart, the top 10. And Sam Badillo got stuck in that outside lane. Fell back to 11th, and wow, that was fun. The Haas IndyCar Series is back, and I tell you what, that was a great way to open it up. And Andrew, this is going to be a very intense season because we've got a lot of road courses on the schedule as well. Those races play out much differently, but we got Kansas, we got Chicagoland, we got ourselves Pocono, we got Michigan, and of course we got the Indy 250. And these guys, more likely than not, will be in that Indianapolis 250 come Memorial Day weekend. Do you think this race may be a little bit of a sign for who's going to be strong once it comes to the biggest race of the year on the channel?
Oh man, I mean, it's as you said. When it comes to these high-speed ovals, this track was the least grippy. There was guys were sliding around all over the place, so I think that's why it played into the strengths of the veterans. But then, of course, I was saying that throughout the race, and all of a sudden, boom, 0-0, second place finish. Got Tanner Parton up there, probably not as much experience either. So I think I think you're going to see it even more jumbled up as far as these great rookies, but also the old timers going to be going at it on some of the other ovals.
Absolutely, and I don't think the rest of the ovals are going to be quite like this one. Like Andrew mentioned, this is the least grip on any of the ovals that we go to for these Indy cars. But hey, we're not done with the racing here at the Auto Club Speedway. Wawa Sprint Series tomorrow night. Hope you guys enjoy that quick little one. It's Sprint Series night in America tomorrow. And then, of course, Friday night, the Wawa Cup Series is here for 50 laps as well with the Napa 400. That's going to be an excellent race to kind of kick off the season a little bit more, a little bit further in. Now that the Daytona 500 is done and all that, those Cup Series guys are definitely going to go at it here at the Auto Club Speedway. Hey, you won there 3 years ago for Zidell Motorsports. So we'll have to see. Maybe you'll win this Friday night. Either way, thank you guys so much for watching here tonight from the Auto Club Speedway. Hope you guys enjoyed that one as much as we did. That was a great race, and just a sign of what's to come here for the Haas IndyCar Series in the 16-race season. Justin Zidell will be your points leader, and you'll see the points for the Haas IndyCar Series right after we're done right here. But either way, huge thanks to Andrew Miller for joining me for the call up tonight's race here in the California 100, and we will see you guys next Monday night for Napa, Indy, California from the Riverside International Raceway. That's been a staple racetrack on the Haas IndyCar Series schedule for quite some time, and we head back for the first road course of the season. A lot of road courses earlier on in the season here, so going to get those road course wings out here soon and have a lot of fun racing here. And hopefully we'll have Mike in the booth for that one next week as well. Thank you guys so much for watching once again. Congratulations to Justin Zidell for getting the race victory here in the California 100. And here are the point standings for the Haas IndyCar Series after the first race of the season. I will see you guys later.